to you about just the rise of women in R&B and the way they were really at the forefront. Can you talk about just this new trend that we're seeing in R&B, where we're seeing more of a fusion? We're seeing people blend the genre with pop, blend the genre with hip hop and rock as well.
Yes, I think it's interesting.
Chapel, Chapel.
You guys want to do that? Go do that.
So sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Hello, how's it going, Chapel? Hello.
You guys want to do that? Do that. That's how Babyface reacted in that moment with so much grace, as he was faced with so much, no pun intended, as he was faced with so much low adversity in that moment. Go do that. Like, I'm good. And that, I was speaking about self-worth on my Instagram, how much self-worth Babyface understands he has and has built, but is popularity culture making us escape from moments. And I don't know if it's like an age thing. I don't know how old she is, or what type of era she comes from, but like the respect, we're giving respect to more popularity than people who are relegated in that moment. Here, Babyface has 12 Grammys, excuse me. He has 12 Grammys and counting, right? Over 50 nominations, right? Has written half the discography you hear on the radio. And here she escapes that moment for the more popular thing. It's like, wouldn't you just understand who's in front of you? That may be all the juice you need, and there's a better way to bridge that gap. Hey, Chaperone, look at one of the greatest songwriters ever to live. I think you guys should meet. Now you've connected. You not only did your job, but you outdid your job. So back to this moment. Is popularity making us escape the moment? Because we're always looking for the hot next thing when we're missing the moment of true honor and respect of what's in front of you. Like during Black History Month, you have Babyface at the Grammys right in front of you. That is all you need to know. And I'm pretty sure she would have stopped, because it's Associated Press. She probably would have stopped regardless, right? Has Babyface, look, no, say less. Take your time. Take your time. But you cause that trying to chase the next big thing. Chasing popularity is literally killing what's in these moments, and it's going to make us not understand how they got there, right? They got there by longevity, and we can only get there if we listen. But is chasing popularity culture making us miss the moments on who's paved the road before us? As we see here, chasing actually can cost you more than what you thought you were going to get initially.
You had one job. You had one job. The worst thing that you can do as a reporter or a journalist is not know who you are interviewing. Is to not be prepared. That's literally your job. Your job is to know who you are interviewing, and your job is to ask questions. What your job is not, your job is not to excuse the interviewer. Your job is not to speed past and get to the next person. Your job is not to be rude. Your job is not to act like a child and bend underneath your other coworker and yell and scream for someone else's attention. Who are you? They hired you? If you got hired at AP and this is how you act, y'all need to hire me. Hire me. Because I'm going to do a way better job than her. I cannot believe I just watched this reporter excuse the legend, the greatest of all time, Babyface, mid-conversation. This man was just asked a question and he was answering it. And you rudely interrupted him by yelling over him. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you to dismiss Babyface? Who are you? You had one job. One job.
Okay, as an interviewer myself, I have like a couple things to say about the Babyface and Chappell Roan situation. Somebody had cut off Babyface to go, oh my God, Chappell Roan, would rather talk to her, basically, representing a major news brand. And this kind of thing is like, it's interesting because it's hard to be on a red carpet. First and foremost, it's hard to be on a red carpet. It's hard to be pulled in 80,000 different directions. However, if that is your job, if that is what you have been trained to do, and I will go ahead and say I do not know these two interviewers from AP. that cut off Babyface to try to get Chappell Roan's attention. I don't know them. I don't know of them. This is my first time hearing of them in general, and that's not an insult. It's just like, I have no context. I have no other kind of information. I do think it's like the very basic thing that you do, which I think a lot of other interviewers can kind of co-sign, is that you have to like successfully finish what you're currently doing. Close out the interview you're currently having if you want to then try to open an interview with someone else. And that's just out of courtesy. Does it suck if like the one person you want walks past you? Absolutely. But as an interviewer, you know that happens. Like, it's unfortunate. Like, sometimes you just miss it. And I don't know what's going on behind the scenes at AP. Maybe their bosses told them, if you don't get Chappell Roan, you're fired. You know what I mean? Like, there could also be some sort of like personal pressure that they felt at the time. But you do have to make that decision. You have to make the decision, okay, well, I'm about to publicly cut off this iconic producer to maybe go make my boss happy, or maybe even like fulfill my own dreams. Maybe I want to talk to Chappell Roan. Is that trade-off there? Is that good enough to look horrible to the live stream and to the public to like go get the interview that you actually want? Again, just trying to add a little bit of insight there. Red carpets are hard. Does that excuse what happened? In my opinion, no. I'm going to speak for myself. In my opinion, no. It sucks. Like, that's upsetting. That's Babyface. Okay. You might have just missed the Chappell Roan interview. You might have just missed the chance. And at that split second moment, you don't know what, the decisions that you're making. Like, maybe you are just overwhelmed and you have to like, it can be a lot. As an interviewer, as somebody who's done in studio and carpets and live events and concerts, you gotta finish what you're doing first. Close it out respectfully and then move on. That's it.
As someone who does red carpet correspondency, that Babyface interview moment was not only incredibly disrespectful, but it showed a lack of journalistic integrity that is missing from a lot of reporters today. You can go to school, you can learn how to be a journalist, but it doesn't mean that you're actually going to be someone who resonates with the person that you're interviewing or understand the audience that is then watching the content. Because I see people of all races going to war in Babyface's comments right now. Like, this isn't, oh, he's a black artist and he disrespected black people. No, it's about understanding that you're in an interview with admittedly a legend, and you're going to cut off the interview to go talk to a viral pop star who's the moment right now. This also speaks to the way that the news cycle works, where these reporters didn't care that they were talking to, again, a living legend. They saw someone who immediately was probably going to get them a viral clip, aka Chappell Roan, because a lot of these news outlets right now, even prestigious ones like AP, are depending on viral clips and viral content from. These aren't, long form write-ups that they're going to do. There's so many stories and incredible moments and tidbits they could have gotten from Babyface, but they're caring about what's going to go viral, because that is honestly what's fueling news media right now, is social. And that's not only what's difficult about being a journalist right now, but what separates people who are storytellers from people who are just trying to get content that's going to perform well. You have to have that journalistic integrity, know how to finish out an interview, know how to actually engage the person that you're talking to. Because even the way the Babyface walked away, he was like, go do that. They weren't engaging him much anyway. The interview that we didn't see probably wasn't even going that well. I mean, think about the countless number of vapid interviews that we've seen in the past couple years when reporters are talking to people and they're obviously not experienced on who the person is or how to actually engage them in conversation. We need to bring back not just trained journalists, because those two women are trained journalists at NPR, but bring back storytellers, bring back people who actually care about the story and not just virality.
Cutting off anyone mid-conversation to talk to someone else is rude, but 13-time Grammy Award winner, mastermind behind the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, oh, you lost your mind. That whole interaction, or should I say lack thereof, really stressed why we need black journalists on these type of carpets. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, what's the big deal? They don't know who he is. Like, what's the big fuss about? An entertainment journalist at the Grammys, and you don't know about Babyface. Now, I have a journalism degree. I have done red carpet interviews, not on a live stream scale like this, but by God's grace, one day. And yeah, there are moments. Let's take challenges, for example. You're speaking to an actor or an actress and they were in one scene and boom, you slowly see Zendaya making her way down the carpet. And naturally you want and need that time with Zendaya, but this isn't even about red carpet etiquette. This is basic human decency. Don't be shooing someone away while they're talking. The journalists, yes, I am using air quotes, have apologized, genuine or not. Like, there's no point dragging them further. further because I think this exposes a bigger issue. I know this has sparked the whole influencer versus journalist debate. From what I can see, I don't think they were influencers. I think they work for the company. But we seriously need journalists who care about the craft and not the clicks to be in these kind of spaces.
If you're going to be at the Grammys or at any show and interview anybody, and you're literally sitting up here interviewing Babyface, if you don't know what happened, there was an interviewer, there was two ladies who was interviewing, I think her name was Kristen something, and she was interviewing Babyface, and all of a sudden she looks past Babyface and was like, Chapel, and he turns around, polite as ever, and was like, oh, would you guys like to interview her? Okay, and then just walks off. And the lady took the mic from him. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, sorry, whatever. And she just didn't even, like, give a damn. Like, she did not care. That she just was so disrespectful and so disgusting. The way that she just, like, kind of threw Babyface to the side for Chapel. First of all, you're talking to somebody that's been in the business for a long time. And for you to sit there and do that, why the hell are you going to these interviews and you don't know how to act? That would have been a big interview, but you can just tell when some people have a disgusting spirit and some people are very, like, not all the way there and kind of just want to do their own thing and not really, like, you know what I mean? That right there just rubbed me the wrong way, the way that she just kind of disrespect. And then there's people like, oh, well, people don't know who Babyface is. A lot of us do. You don't, but a lot of us do. And that's just distasteful. Like, you're in this career, you got this business and everything, and you know what I mean? Like, you want to say, I want to say some things, but I know that's disrespectful. So when you saw that, how did you feel?